Hey buddy! Welcome back to the channel and to all the warships. Today I'm featuring a game of the Tier 8 Russian premium cruiser, the Mikhail Kutuzov. Kutuzov, of course, is one of those deemed broken OP premium ships. Probably with a good reason, and has been taken out of circulation pretty much. The only way to be able to attain this ship these days are by purchasing probably an insane amount of Christmas containers or kind of super containers during those sales. But I'm guessing the chance of actually getting one of these OP premiums like Kutuzov, the Imperator Nikolai or Belfast are probably pretty slim. Probably the same chance as winning the Powerball lottery or something. As I said many times before, the Mikhail Kutuzov is not really a ship that cares about matchmaking or being down-tiered in a match. This ship is extremely powerful in punching upwards. Usually you pretty much want to end up in tier 10 games. Because it just means that you will get a whole lot of more credits and experience by punishing all those tier 10 battleships. And with its range, I mean, I have above 19 kilometer range on my guns. And with the extreme fire chance as well, you are very capable in long range fire spamming like the tier 10 Japanese cruiser, the Sao, pretty much. You also really able anti-aircraft cruiser. So you have pretty good defense against carriers. You're also equipped with smoke consumable as well as torpedoes, which are 8 kilometer range. So you're a pretty all-around good ship. Now we spawned on the left flank on this upgraded, I think this is the north map. And this is the old version of the north map where the decap is actually still in play on the 10 line. I guess Wargaming finally got sick of all the battleships going up that 10 line, being pretty much useless for their team, since they also put up like road signs on the islands that told the battleships to not go down there. I guess they finally got sick about those players and just took away the decap altogether and replaced all the 4 caps on this map, like you can see in the new version. Now, Kutuzov, with all its amazing strength, is still a tier 8 paper cruiser. I mean, the armor on this thing is pretty much non-existent. And of course, there's where the smoke consumable comes in. But this ship is extremely acceptable to blind fires into the smoke. And of course, if those tier 10 battleship shells hit home, you can very easily get blapped in a single salvo. So it's usually a pretty good idea to try to angle as best as you can, while sitting in your smokescreen spamming the enemy ships. It's also good to move about a bit inside the very small smokescreen you have. And also try to angle, because you are also very acceptable to enemy destroyer torpedoes. So that is something to consider. Now, this position is pretty much the position you want to have in the Kutuzov. You pretty much want to stay in front of the enemy fleet's push, so you can focus on the primary ships and trying to pretty much discourage their battleships to continue their push, which pretty much will take away the support structure for the cruisers and the destroyers. And it will become much more easier for your team to dispose of the destroyers and cruisers. Because this fire spamming from this ship is just relentless. It's just a continuously fire on your ship, pretty much. And you know how much battleship captains love those fires, right? So for the first half of the match, you should really try and stay at range as much as possible and help your team to just wither down the enemy fleet, so to speak. Now, my team is playing a bit weird. We are scattered all across the map. It seems like we have one ship per team fighting it out in the decap, which the enemy team just won, pretty much. We also have a couple of ships that has actually been able to secure the C cap. Meanwhile, the main enemy force seems to be focused around the A cap, and that is why I am here as well. Unfortunately, I have pretty much lost all my allies on this flank. It's only me, a fellow Mogami, Japanese cruiser, and also the Yugumo in front. So this narrows down the possibilities for me to be effective on this flank, because I don't really have that much ships being able to spot for me, so I can't really smoke up and continue to lay down fire on the enemy ships, because I can't really see them. And also, the Kutuzov is not really a good ship to get focused in, because you will die very quickly if higher tier ships start to focus you. So I'm trying to regroup with the rest of my team, because we are down 2 ships. And the best course of action when you are down on ships in World of Warships is always to try and regroup and join forces, pretty much. Trying to take out the closest target by pretty much coordinate your fires. Usually that's not the case though in random battles, because random players will always do what random players do. They pretty much just scatter around like headless chickens and die. Or make suicide pushes into the enemy fleet and die. So I finally got some spotting on this British conqueror. So I'm trying to make him disengage and turn around. Because no one really wants to be the focus point of a Mikhail Kutuzov. I also see this enemy Akizuki, so I should be aware of possible torps. Trying to punish him, of course, because if I take out their only destroyer, we have at least a slight advantage. We do have a cap advantage right about now, but we're still down on points and ships. So it's still a winnable game. It's just up to pretty much what will happen in the next couple of minutes. Now I am spotted in my smoke screen, so I can only assume that the enemy destroyer is a bit too close. So since I am spotted, I need to move out very quickly, because that conqueror could pretty much blap me with HE through my armor. I see a very low health enemy battleship, and of course I switch my fire to him, because when it comes down to games like this, you should always try to secure kills as soon as possible. And that's not because you want to kill steal, but you really need to take out low health targets, especially battleships, so they're not able to break off, go dark and heal up and become a huge threat to your team once again. So after pretty much mid-game, the team should always try coordinate their fire towards all the low health targets. As you can see, we are still having a cap advantage. We are pretty much equal in points, but the enemy team has still one more ship left to go. Or one more ship advantage, pretty much. The problem is that we have two ships pushing alone down south, and we have me and my fellow cruiser up here to the north, and we have one ship going through the channel. I think that's a carrier actually. So this is a problem, because if we are divided, we're not really as strong as we could be. So you should always try to pretty much group up in the end of the game, so you can be a strong force to be reckoned with, pretty much. And we lost the Mogami on my flank, so now I'm pretty much alone. Also, we lost the battleship down south. So this is starting to look pretty grim. It's 3 ships against 6. Check that. It's 2 ships against 6. It's only me and the carrier left alive. Now I managed to kill off one more ship, so we're down to 2 ships against 5. But even though with all the strength of the Kutuzov, this will be a pretty hard carry to try and pull off. Especially since they have a pretty full health Conqueror, even though I am trying to wither him down with my HE spam. And they have also some other well health, good health ships, like the other battleship in the background, the Alsace. And they also have a destroyer that can pretty much keep me perma-spotted at all times. So this possible win has pretty much changed to being just kind of a damage farming game. Because I know by this point that it's pretty much impossible for us to win. So I'm already up to 174 damage. I just earn my Witherer and my Confederate. So since I'm down to very low health, I guess I will be dead pretty soon, so I just try and farm as much damage as possible at this point. But since this was a tier 10 game, I feel like I did pretty well in a tier 8 cruiser. Being pretty much the last fighting ship alive. And doing this amount of damage to the enemy fleet. But not even Kutuzov can carry any team or any match. Even Kutuzov has its limitations. I just trying to get some fires on this Edinburgh because he's also very low health and it would be pretty nice to kill him off as well. He did manage to go dark, but I'm not really sure why he goes in and out of detection since he's firing, but maybe he was right at the edge of his range, pretty much. The Conqueror has popped up once again, and he is very low health. But of course Conquerors have those print me my new ship buttons, so he can probably recover a whole lot of his health, especially if a lot of that health is from my fires. Should this be my third kill? I mean, he's at extreme range. I'm just trying to fire spam as much as possible here. I just broke 200,000 damage. And I've been on this low health for I don't know how many minutes. So I actually managed to kill off a full health Conqueror. During that time I was at, 5,000 health or something. So this is pretty much Mikhail Kutuzov in a nutshell. I don't really have any more targets to shoot at, which is pretty sad because we could actually have won this game if maybe I could gotten one more kill, since the points were quite even. So I'm just turning around and trying to look at if it's possible for me to maybe secure one last kill and turn the tide of this match. But I'm guessing that I will get blapped by that Alsace as soon as I'm getting spotted. And now also the timer is ticking down. But it was pretty sad because the only difference was about 40 points. And well, you're gonna have games like this in the Kutuzov as well. But I did pretty good credits and experience at least. 210,000 damage done in a tier 10 game, which isn't really that bad. 11 cap resets, 15 fires. Being number 1 in a game when you're tier 8 paper cruiser against tier 10 battleships is also nice. I'm sorry, not number 1 in the game, number 1 in the team, but almost number 1 in the game, even though I was on the losing side. But still, great game by the enemy team. And you can look at the damage received and damage done, and of course fires being a big portion of that damage. So I wanna thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please leave a like and a comment below, and until next time guys, have a good one. Bye bye.